I've done it again. 12 teams are now down to 2. We're very, very excited for this grand final between Rated R and Elevate. And boys, it's all come down to this. Some fantastic teams, some fantastic games, and we have this grand final. How have we found today? It's been exciting for me.
My heart's been kind of like this for every team that's been involved. Obey, Rated R, Regal, they've all shown us some fantastic games and heartbreak as well. So it has been fantastic so far, and I'm hoping this grand final, brings more of the same.
Toby, last game was pretty intense between Rated R and Regal Reserve, but Rated R got the job done. Do you think they can do it against Elevate, or is it a stretch too far, mate?
For me, I do think it's a stretch too far. I just think Elevate have been a little bit too impressive today. They've really shown up as a Championship Sunday team, of course, and Rated R, they've looked very good, mind you. They were playing very well against Regal. They didn't seem really upset from that heart-wrenching loss against Elevate there in the closing moments. But no, I think Elevate, they've really proven that they can perform at the top level when it matters most, and I think this grand final is not going to be an exception to that.
Well, us three have really been getting involved in the games this weekend, haven't we? Casting it and such. So we actually thought we'd bring in somebody who maybe has been watching from the offset and has a different opinion to us. I'm very, very happy to introduce Colin into the chat. Colin, mate, how's it going? All the way over in the United States. Nice to have you for the grand finals, pal.
Hey, look, it's my honor. It's my pleasure. Y'all know how much I love the three of y'all. So the second I saw y'all give me the opportunity, I said, "You mean I get to chop it up with Fruit, Toby, and Chris? Get out of here! Get out!" I started running. You should have seen. I had like flash waves behind me, man. I was jet setting it to the PC.
Oh, man, it's very, very nice to have you. Anyway, I'm glad you've been enjoying the action as much as we have. Very, very excited to get in this one. Who stood out for you the most, though, Colin?
Look, if I've got to pick a player this weekend that is stood out, even though they've been eliminated, I think the player that has stood out for me, and I made a clip of what he did yesterday, I think Breaker's probably played his best event I've seen him play in quite some time. I think Breaker and Obey showed a lot of heart with everything going on with that team, with everything that they had coming into this tournament. For them to make it to where they did and to continue to give up fight, or to continue to push fights and to give people the fights of their lives, even with every scenario sitting around them in the hedges, they said, "You know what, guys, let's go out here, let's play free, let's play clear." And Breaker put on a show for everybody at home. He made everybody pay the price of admission. If you were going to beat Obey, you were going to have to beat Obey. You weren't just going to waltz over him. You weren't going to walk past him. So for me, I think Breaker has been my standout player of the tournament. I know they're out of it, but we'll have to see if somebody can overtake that spot here in that grand finals y'all got coming up.
Oh, yeah, hopefully we're going to see some extensive players from a lot of different people. Yeah, but I think it's a very good point. You know, Breaker had a good weekend. Hopefully that Obey squad can sort stuff out and maybe re-qualify for the Pro League. We'll see as time does go on. But let's concentrate on this grand final now, boys. We're going to talk about Elevate first. Elevate found themselves in the grand final after winning the winners bracket final in the tightest of affairs up against Rated R. And it was quite the finish, wasn't it, Alex? It was very much a tight one, wasn't it? And I mean, we've seen Rated R are susceptible to those big final pushes. We've seen Regal just do it against them. Gonna have to make sure they shore up that defense this time around.
Yeah, I mean, that was it, right? They had it. They were pretty much locked and loaded with that grand final spot. And then a shot grenade comes out, maybe 3 or 4 seconds too early. And they just let too many people into that ring, and they just couldn't hold them off, could they? And with 2 seconds to go, Elevate break the deadlock on round 9, third map, and come through and take that spot. It's heartbreaking, but they regrouped pretty quickly and dispatched of Regal, didn't they? So I'm glad that we're seeing this rematch, that's for sure.
Well, let's see what they're playing for here, Toby. Before I go to you, plenty of cash on the line, has to be said. A $50,000 prize pool on offer. We haven't had this money in Europe, full stop, ever. And it's a big, big amount of money. Really well played by everybody to get this far. Before I go to Toby, Colin, this prize on the line, what do you think it means to these players?
Look, I've been saying it from the offset of Gears 5. I don't think people know just how passionate, just how deep the love for Gears runs in the European region, and I've stayed with y'all all season long. Heck, I held up the EU's finest flag at San Diego. I love this region. I love to see them get the love they finally deserve. I like to see this kind of prize pool brought to the other side of the pond, the other side of Atlantic. Show these boys some love. Maybe we'll get some more love out of that EU region. We'll see some more teams start to really push forward. So I think when you put the money down, and you know how that old saying, green talks, baby. You put that buck in front of somebody's face, they're willing to put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying, baby?
I know what you're saying, baby. Don't worry. Don't you worry, Colin. Thank you for that insight, Toby. There's plenty on the line here for these players. As said, you know, they've never really played for this sort of money, and they are really showing up when they need to. What do Rated R need to do differently here than what they did in that previous game in the winners bracket finals? Of course, it was a 1-round difference, but is there anything that you looked at and thought this could have been done different, other than obviously winning the last round? But, you know, outside of that, was there anything you didn't see from them that you would have liked to?
I mean, usually from Radar, like we saw with Regal, they do stretch the legs a little bit. You know, the keys to victory oftentimes is just win with the shotguns and really leverage that aggression in all areas of the map. But unfortunately for them, especially on Bunker, Radar, they couldn't do what they usually do, could they? On the initials, on those opening covers, they couldn't leverage the raw skill that they have that oftentimes dictates the course of their matches. And for me, the key to victory in this instance is actually Radar adapting to that elevate playstyle of really containing them in different areas of the map, forcing them to make moves. And in fact, if you can get a bit more aggressive against elevate, yes, they were performing very well in that department earlier, were they? Radar, they might get an edge here based on past performances against Elevate. And I think it's actually very much needed, because I'm going to agree with Jack Reaction's point on this one. In fact, their teamwork, Elevate, today included, seems to be one step above Rated R many times.
It is indeed. Let's see the maps that we are going to play, though, and just to remind you guys at home, as these picks and bans do come on through, it will be Elevate with a 1-map advantage and a best out of 5. That is how we are dealing with things, as Rated R came from the losers bracket side. Rated R, ban Bunker, Vasgar gone from Elevate. Now, I'm very surprised not to see Exhibit gone. Colin, today and over the weekend, Rated R have looked very good on Exhibit. Are you agreeing with that ban coming out from Elevate of Vasgar?
Well, I looked at it this way, I'm very much a proponent of when people do picks and bans. I've always thought teams should always take away the favorite play toy of the opposite team. So I'm actually very shocked that Elevate just didn't come straight out of the gate when it comes to their turn and say, all right, take Exhibit out of here. I'd rather take my chances at beating them on Vasgar. Even if you hate that map, you've probably got a bigger % chance with the way that Rated R has been playing Exhibit all weekend to beat them there on Vasgar than to even go head-to-head with them on Exhibit. So I would have rather see them take away the favorite play toy Rated R.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that as well. Icebound coming in first through, something we haven't seen very much at all. We have seen Elevate beat Rated R in that last week, though, so they will be feeling confident, albeit Rated R just knew that they had to win a couple of rounds. So how much do you read into that? Icebound's picked first map.
I think it's quite important, to be honest, because that's going to really set the tempo for the remainder of the series. And you're right, Icebound, it was a map that Elevate beat Rated R on 5-3 in that last meeting they had, and it was the one to take that 2-1 victory, albeit, you know, Rated R taking the lead. It really did cement the series for Elevate. So I like that pick from Elevate. Go into a map you're comfortable on. The second one, Exhibit, I kind of agree with Colin's point. Letting that come through and knowing that you've been beaten, you know, pretty convincingly twice on it now, maybe would have seen that out. But it's the latter end that starts to kind of worry me a little bit here for Elevate specifically, because Asylum is a map that they got trounced upon last time they met. Rated R walked through Elevate. It was 5-1, and it was a very, very convincing win at that. And we're seeing Elevate pick that up because they don't really want to pick either District or Training Grounds. Rated R, in the end of things there, they picked District.
Yep.
I would have liked to have seen them pick Training Grounds, personally.
Well, District
I would have
was
liked
a close
to have...
one.
Yeah. It was close, but they've lost on it twice now, and Training Grounds is a map that Elevate almost always ban.
That's a fair point, Toby. Anything that's standing out for you here? That Exhibit one is glaring. It's absolutely glaring for me. I'm not 100% sure I understand it from Elevate. However, Toby, any thoughts on the idea? Is there theory behind the madness?
No, I have to agree with you. Exhibit is definitely Rated R's strongest map in this current time. And if I'm Elevate, I want to ensure that I can play as teamwork orientated as possible and have slower maps, not, you know, cluster bombs of shotgun battles down corridors. And due to their past performance, of course, in that matchup, Rated R have proved very good against Elevate. I would have banned that immediately, in fact, just as Rated R have done the same with Bunker. They banned it immediately, and I failed to see why Elevate haven't gone down that route as well and banned out that strong map from the previous match.
Well, I'm curious if they're going to shut us up and beat them on it. Well, it'll be a time to do it. But let's start ringing some predictions in. It is the grand final. Everything on the line. Colin, as our guest, I'll let you go first, mate. You go ahead. Who do you think is going to take away the crown here in Europe?
All right, I said yesterday that they were going to look like Ali Frazier, okay? And as we all know, Frazier took Ali down in the first fight, which is what Elevate has done by, you know, beating Rated R in that initial matchup, sending them to losers bracket, and Ali Frazier was a 3-part story. I think you boys are in for the long haul. I think we might have to see a 3-part story, because if y'all are going by double elim and you got to reset the bracket, I see Rated R taking this first one and making Elevate work for it today. So in your first series, I'm going to pick Rated R, and I'm going to pick them 3-1.
Okay, well, Rated R would have to win it 3-1 because it is a full best out of 5, but with Elevate with a 1-map lead. So they're going to have to do it quickly. They're going to have to do it in one.
Are y'all not doing the double? You don't have the reset?
Nope, no resets. It is.
Well, then, yeah, I'm just going straight out. Let Rated R have it. Look, I've seen the tournament all weekend where you've had double elimination, so my brain is working as a double elim. I was looking for.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. That's fine. Well, look, 3-1 Rated R. I'll put it out there. I'll say it. Look, the maps look like they favor Rated R. Rated R got that pick through of Exhibit. You talked about their struggles on Asylum. They're going to have to go ahead, and Training Grounds is a map that Elevate is normally banned. You've pointed out that the map pool favors Rated R, and when you can get somebody to play on your home court, it's a lot easier to send them home than when you're playing uncomfortable all game. So I'm gonna say Rated R gets it done finally.
Toby, you next. Come on, Matt. Give it to me.
I don't see a world where Elevate lose this now, honestly. Yeah, Rated R, they kept their composure against Regal Reserve, but from what I've seen so far from Elevate, they have just been on fire. Individually, Jack Vex has been going on. We were just discussing his performance earlier, actually, before we came off break, and it just seems like all the players are just playing very, very well, and I feel as though the Championship Sunday team of Elevate is just a step above Rated R's right now.
Okay, what map score are we going with, Toby?
That's a harder question, Chris. Well, I think it will be 3-1. Elevate at very least. I don't see Rated R getting one more map, but if it has to be, they only need 2 rather. Excuse me. In that case, I think Rated R will take Exhibit. I do still fancy that team on that map. They've been literally on fire on that map all day long, let's be real. But I think Icebound is going to go the way of Elevate, as we saw in the past matchup on that particular map. And then I think Asylum, Elevate, they have a lot of confidence, in fact, in Hydron's play down the middle to really cause a nuisance for Rated R to break up that Wolfpack mentality. And I do fancy him in that role as well. I think Elevate will come out trumps on that map too.
Okay, through. Let's break it down, mate. Which way do we think this one's going?
Oh, I got the deciding.
You don't.
We well, you got to go, I suppose.
It's 1-for-1. You can go first.
It's 1-for-1.
I'm the host. I get a call the shots here. Sorry.
Everything in me here is saying, go with Elevate. Go with Elevate. That's the safe pick, because it's very, very rare that we see a losers bracket team coming through and turning the tide. Even in any situation, whether it's a map lead or not, it's very, very rare we see that in Gears. It's usually the winners bracket team that come through. We've seen it on occasion, but my heart is telling me go with the winners bracket team for that alone. And also with that map advantage, it's going to be so difficult for Rated R. I said it earlier. I think two separate best of 3 series would have been more realistic for Rated R to win than one best of 5 against that head start. I think it's got to go Elevate. Score wise, I think they're going to close it out pretty quickly. I think they're going to win 2 rounds and go with it. I think it's going to be a 3-0.
You think they're going to beat them on Exhibit as well as Icebound?
I do.
Okay, all right. Okay, so they're feeling confident about Elevate on this one. So, I mean, it would be rude for me not to go with Rated R in that case and just completely level it up and let the chat decide. So there we go. That's what we're going to go with. I honestly think this is going to potentially go to the last map. I think the fact that Exhibit has made it through is crazy. I think Rated R, or the map pool for me, leans towards Rated R. That's what had it for me. I did think to myself, when we had this conversation before, with the map lead that Elevate had, I believe they would be able to lock this in. Hate the maps, though. Hate the map picks. Don't know why it's went in this direction. They maybe will tell me otherwise, but honestly, I really do like them for Rated R. I'll go with them with a final map because it will be absolutely rude not to. Colin, thank you very much for joining us, mate. I hope you enjoy the finals, wherever you are. Where are you again? You're in America.
Virginia.
Somewhere.
East Coast, baby.
Virginia.
We're East Coast. So we're not too early in the morning. We're not too early in the morning. I'm East Coast. Not too early in the morning. People just getting out of church, and I'm about to get into a separate church. I'm about to worship at the feet of you gentlemen, taking this grand finals and giving it to everybody as best as they can get it, because y'all 3 are the best to ever do it, especially here in the Gears world. I can't wait. I'm going to go pop some popcorn. It's lunchtime. I might make a sandwich, get a nice tall glass of sweet tea, kick back and relax, and let you boys do what you do best.
Oh, wow. I've never felt as much gas coming in. Toby, final words from you.
I think Elevate just need to play their game. I don't think they're going to allow Rated R to do the same. Many would think Rated R just need aggression, and I think the same, but I just don't feel like Elevate will allow them to do that. I think we'll see more containment, and some great teamwork from EU's potential best.
Well, thank you very much. It will be me and Fru bringing you through the action here. It is Rated R. It is Elevate in this grand final. And we're about to get into it. Pains and Co are the ones that are going to win this initial. They need to be perfect during this series. Elevate have the 1 map lead. Rated R need 3. Elevate only need 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a close affair either way, but we've split that decision on the caster desk. I'll be interested to see which way the crowd is going as well. But this domination for Rated R in just 1 second is going to be a very, very quick opening round. And Rated R trying to make me prove my words wrong. Eat my words, sorry. Very, very quick into the series. That was all about that opening fight, though. The trading post. Don't expect Elevate to go there again.
No, very much a Rated R territory. They do like this map as well, Rated R. It was a relatively close affair. That's why I don't want to lean too much on the result the other day when they were playing each other, because we know that Rated R only needed a few rounds. And yes, okay, they would have liked to go on to win it, no doubt. However, I think that would have played in their minds once they got those rounds, they could come off their gas a little bit. I'm not going to say that's definitely what happened, but in theory, in my head, that could definitely be a reason as to why they lost it. But it was still close, 5-3, I do believe. Last time these two played, Rated R opening up in the best way possible. And honestly, I really feel as if Elevate, based on my prediction, need this map. Exhibit, I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. And a 2-1 lead for Rated R heading into Asylum and District will be a bad, bad place for Elevate to be. But that's why I think we're going to potentially see all 4 maps of this grand final. Just like, Elevate have the series lead. We will see 4 maps in total. This is a really good start from Rated R, though. They bait them in to pushing towards B. And they will maybe garner some control here. Marsh is going to have to back on down, but a decent start by Rated R, but well held by Elevate.
Yeah, well held. Good lance of fire. You can see Pains now. Should be able to get a double kill here. Opts to stay on the hill instead of getting that cleaned up quickly on Phelpsy, but it does come in the end. And actually, Rated R, they are looking strong here. I'd like to point out something that I saw so far. The last time these two teams met on Icebound, Rated R, they really did prefer that fight on the ice field. You can remember the first 2 rounds, they opened up and they fought down on that B side of things. They didn't even touch trading post. So perhaps Elevate in that first round got baited a little bit there. Pushed in thinking it might be clear, but it's a good kill there, isn't it, by Crimsons to try and turn this back round a bit. Slazen, he's going to have to run back quickly. Should get cleaned up here. And Elevate, they're starting to get a little bit of control.
Yeah, well played by Crimsons. He's going to find a couple of kills. That will allow Elevate to lock in a bit more control here. Getting back into the round, the win condition will belong to them as they have a hold of B here as well. Setting up and trading post is a good spot to be in. The Lance of Fire is strong from Crimsons, has help from Phelpsy too. Elevate very much with a strong grasp on this round. Lead still belongs to Rated R, but not for very long, 70 seconds or so now, and Elevate will be walking away as winners of this round and tying things up. It's going to be a tense affair, I feel, as the smoke start to come out towards B. Rated R should be able to at least decap this one and will do so. Maybe go for the cap as well. Here comes the rest of Rated R to secure this one. The revive chain comes in. B comes in. Rated R retain that lead that they did have.
They do. They do. Rated R here with that double cap. They're looking pretty strong. Jackfex is going to find those downs and crazed up top in that tower. Causing a lot of difficulties here. Elevate using that blizzard to their advantage here. They know that the sight lines are slightly lower when that blizzard comes in. Those ice blocks, they can't be broken. That's a good kill by Jack, but Payne's shutting him down, not letting him get a double kill like he did in that last round of the series they met in the winners bracket final. Jack was a star in that one, but Payne's a star in his own right now. 5-4-1 the scoreline for him so far, and that's a good couple of rounds so far. He's just trying to secure this one. Rated R, 45 seconds away from winning. Got to deal with this cap.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get back a hold of that because Elevate now have locked in that win condition. I was looking towards the time and I was thinking it was going to lean towards Elevate on a 2-cap, so Rated R have to go. D-cap comes in as well, and the longer that time goes on, this works out for Rated R, but they have to be careful not to be eliminated here. Pins is going to answer back with a kill on the Jackfex. B now in control. Elevate, win condition is still with them as well. 20 seconds to go now, but the kills are starting to rain through for Rated R. Pins and Strikers are going to go down, though. Elevate should be able to lock it in with that. They'll push it out as well. C is the only thing that Rated R have. It's the only thing they're getting points from. And they're forcing the issue here. Crimson pushing forwards. He will go down. But that'll be the round. Elevate will lock that one in. One apiece, a very long round of 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yep.
But nicely played by Elevate.
It was nicely played, but you got to think out of those 2 opening rounds who look better. I think Rated R so far have been the better team. And it's pretty much led by that man Paynes, though, top of the scoreboard, already at 13,000 points. So, yeah, pretty good going. 1,300 points, rather, not 13,000. That would be very, very impressive. Question is where are they going? Are we going to see that M bar once again? No, we did see before. We are seeing that shot grenade get upgraded, and expect something similar on the other side.
Very similar. Neither one of these teams want to take away anything else so far. Striker's currently sitting at 0-7 in terms of kills and assists, I should say.
Yeah, I thought you meant deaths then. I was
Yeah,
very
no, he hasn't got 7 deaths in 2 rounds. It wouldn't be out of the question, but Pain's here trying to win this fight in Trading Post. It's not going to go his way. Jack once again causing all sorts of issues down here. The Blizzard comes on through. We'll give him that little bit of cover he does need to find himself in an even better spot. Oh my word, Jack. It's just so well positioned from him. The elevated skins making his bullets hit maybe a bit stronger there, Fruit. Nicely done. And Jack is just lying it. Look at these angles he's finding just to help his team out at every single moment he can. Great shots coming in, albeit this new Lancer now not quite doing the damage it would at that range. The Bloom's very strong, but Jack controlling it beautifully.
That they are. And now his rotation, just making sure that no one from Rated R can really jump out and come around the back of this trading post here. His positioning is always perfect. His shots pretty much always land flush. He's just backing out a little bit, trying to get the damage down here. He's got to be careful. Dragon is really being a pain, to be honest with you. But look at that from Elevate. That's lovely. They've managed to get Strikers down. Rated R will claim that B hill, but it'll get decapped so quickly. And Elevate, they've got to be careful not to fall into the same trap that Rated R just fell into. With Dragons in this middle room, it's so difficult to take the B hill, but they've done that very well. They'll secure that neutral.
Jack and Cup trying to find some kills here. He will clean up the one on Slays in. The push coming through, looking for the shot over the top. Not going to happen. They'll have to back on down. Elevate not trying to bite off more than they can chew. Strikers finds one, but then immediately goes down. Paints and Jack back off from each other. Two brutal forces meeting each other over towards the home hill of Rated R. But the boys are trying to get some sort of control right now. Elevate have been in control the majority of this round. Marsh has to be careful not to be taken down here, and the pistol will come out to break the ice just to slow down the push. Jack has to back off, though, as the flash comes through. Rated R just get out in time. Here comes the Blizzard, which will give them that cover they need to get a hold of B, and it will give them the win condition. I do believe it will. 70 seconds now for Rated R to lock this round in. Very tense affair here. Nobody really making big plays. It's just been a case of meeting each other in the middle, trying to decap B where you can, and that can just be icebound at times. However, it just seems as if both teams potentially a little bit nervous, but somebody who doesn't seem nervous is Jackvex, just taking down Marsh rather easily there. Dragons will drop him. The shot comes through as well. Which side is that from? I think it actually might be from Phelpsy. Slazen can't make this push now. B in limbo. But the advantage belongs to Elevate. They have the lead right now on a 1-cap. Rated R, though, does seem to have the pressure here over towards B. They will lock that cap in and get out pretty much unscathed. Slazen will just about get away, and Rated R will be happy with that push.
Problem is Marsh has died there. Strikers, though, finding that reply very quickly will even things up at a 4v4 for the time being. And with 25 seconds on the grow, you should have enough time for these players to get back up. That's a great kill there from Crimsons. Finds Dragon. We'll get this B hill as well as the reward. And for Rated R now, so far behind. Elevate look to threaten that domination. The A hill will go the way of Rated R, but
Kills.
It's going to be all about the points, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be. Rated R might not have time now. 4 seconds to go. Elevate flick the switch so quickly. And not much can be done about that. Crimsons wins the fight, and then Elevate win on the other side of the map as well. Fantastic stuff coming out of Elevate there. And just winning on different sides of the map is what makes the difference there. If Crimsons wins that fight, but they lose it on the other side, it's a very different story. It's the fact that they can do it all on their own. Crimsons with a huge kill over towards B, which eventually would have tied that one in for Elevate had his team lost that other fight. 2-1 Elevate now. I said it's a very tense game. Nobody wanted to overstep, but very much Elevate the ones turning up when they need to here.
Yeah, and talking of overstepping, Ton, Hydrone, a rare occurrence for He was out of the count, there. He had no lives left, and he'd been eliminated. It was a 4v5 for Elevate at the closing parts of those rounds. So,
wow.
Yeah, as you said, that kill, even more important. It looks like we are going to stop for just a second here.
Okay, I'm not 100% sure why we're doing this, but it seems as if everybody is back in. We'll find out what's going on in a second. But just talking about these past 3 rounds, it's been very close. Every single round has pretty much went down to the wire. Any thoughts after the first 3 rounds of the through? Is anything standing out for you here?
I mean, I think they are looking pretty even. I mean, we can see the scoreline there. Look at it. There's only really Pains taking a bit of a run at this, 8, 10, and 3, looking pretty strong. In terms of the actual team play, I'm preferring Elevate setups at the moment. They seem to be a little bit further ahead in terms of Rated R. Rated R opting to take control of that trading post for far too long, in my opinion. We did see the trading post be somewhat influential in that fight, but it was more about Jack Fex's positioning, wasn't it, on that kind of side barrier? Looked very, very good there. 2-1. I have to look at the scoreline. Phelpsy as well, not doing the best here on Icebound. It's not a map that we usually see him kind of pop off on. He's much more at home in District, in my opinion.
Well, we will be going back into it in about 30 seconds, so back in at 2 minutes. There was just maybe a connection issue on the Hydron side of things, but we're back at it. Respawns do say the same. I was asking that question, but just to make sure. Imagine he disconnects, comes back in with 4 respawns. We don't need that.
Tactical. Tactical sub.
Oh no, I've disconnected.
Again.
I've come back in with 4 respawns. Oh, what about that?
Oh dear God. No, he looks to be in the right position there, doesn't he, with that 1 life. As I said, it was down and out at the end of that, and I guess if he disconnected mid-round, that would make sense. But we are going to go live once again, Chris. 2 minutes on the board here. The teams will start off once again, and we'll see that initial as it was meant to be.
Well, here we go. This round timer is going to be a lot longer, you feel, than the other 2 rounds, unless it gets over and done with nice and quick, but smoke comes through, as well as the blizzard. Can't see a thing if you're Pains, and nobody's really pushed into trading posts with him. Rated R very much controlled that fight in the first round, and Elevate have somewhat avoided it since then. Smart move. Setting up very much towards B. Capture points. Get your points on the board. You don't necessarily need to go with these big team fights that Rated R thrive in. Rated R now looking for the push. Plenty of Lancer Fire going to start coming in here. Strikers drops like a hat there. That was a ridiculous. Dropped so quick. And he will get taken down. Crazed takes advantage of that and Elevate. Really nice from them that they just sit back, wait for the push to come. Yes, Rated R get what they wanted. But Elevate put plenty of points down.
They have. Slazin just been a bit of a pest, isn't he, really, with this Lancer Fire from this back corner. You can see the push coming through in that trading post. A bit of a 2v2, sorry, a 3v2 situation here as Pains goes down, but it looks to be like Rated R. Trying to clutch up in there. They will get killed out in the end. Slazin, for all his attempts at helping from across the map.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if he's doing a great deal apart from keeping control of B and staying alive and just trying to do his best he can, but Strikers maybe going to go for the overextend here, or is he just coming in behind to try and find the kill in the mid? He is going to find the kill in the mid on the Hydron, so now we should be able to help his team get B back as they have lost it. Slazin now just attempting the decap far too weak. Good Lancer Fire coming in here from Elevate, but here come the cavalry. Rated R now going to get a hold of B. He's going to have to drop back Phelpsy to get his teammate up. Hydron down to 0 lives once again, so keep an eye on that. Shots going in. Phelpsy now trying just to keep Rated R away, and now Striker's in a really bad spot in the middle of nowhere, and it's a good job that Blizzard's coming on through because that's going to give them that little bit of cover they needed. But now there's nobody really over towards B. Phelpsy can make the push. They may be able to decap this here through, and Phelpsy will decap. Can he capture as well with the help of his team? Really well played, really well timed by Elevate. Rated R not quite there to prevent this just yet.
Not quite, are they? Not quite at all. They should be able to lock it in there with the cap. You can see them. They're just taking a step each, both Crazed and Phelpsy, and all that does is allow both members to soak up a little bit of damage, and they get the cap very, very well there. Pains is going to go down in that corner. You can see the revive attempt coming in here. If they're able to get the second down, they might be able to clean this one up, and the decap does come through there very, very quickly from Rated R. You can see they will win in 40 seconds or so, and they are about 40 points up at this point in time, so realistically, Elevate, they do need that decap on the home hill.
Yep, and that is why Rated R are patrolling in and around trading post as well. They know the overextension could come through. Elevate haven't really postured for that. There's 2 members in the middle. Dragons is there and waiting. But look at B. That's what Elevate are trying to capture. It's only going about a quarter of the way up. It's about 15 seconds or so. Even with the 2 cap now, it's not going to be enough for Elevate, so they have to go. They have to find the kills. Crazed is going to find the first. Dragons is the first victim. Pains has found a kill into Jackfex, though. And where is that? That's seemingly over towards B. So which way are these fights going to go? It's looking like in the favor of Rated R. They hold on to C. That's all they need. They will level this one up 2 apiece now. Well played by Rated R. They knew what they needed to hold there and held it very, very well.
Yeah, some nice flashy plays at the end as well to secure the deal on that one. And they're pretty glad, I'm sure, to even this one out at the half. Elevate, we're looking pretty strong going into this first half of it. But I think with that, you know, that 0 lives remaining on Hydron, it just makes things so difficult, doesn't it? You can't really play as you would normally play, knowing that Hydron doesn't really have the lives that he usually has to play with. Obviously, that will reset now, though, Chris, as we do go into the second half. Those rings will swap positions, so we'll see that E-Hill over by the entrance to the trading post, and that makes that even more important to fight over now.
It does, and I feel as if this half does favor Rated R, the way that they like to play. They like to get sticky in this trading post, and if they win this fight, if Elevate choose to take it, Rated R are in a good spot. They like this fight very much and win it most of the time that we do see. However, Elevate are very much on the same level. Solid team all around. Pains is going to make the touch just to try and lull Elevate out. They want them to fight. They're waiting for the engagement. We can see there's a line across, and it is actually Rated R with presence inside a trading post. On the wrong side of things, though, the right-hand cover does belong to Elevate to a certain extent. Just waiting for the moment where both these teams will go. Dragon's just trying to scout out, trying to figure out where Elevate are here as they posture and wait.
That's what it's about, isn't it? Be the first one to make the move. You might get the advantage, but you might also be walking into a trap. And Elevate, they are one of those teams that do set them quite often. They're very, very good at executing as well. You can see here now, Rated R, they're trying their best.
There we go.
Flash is going to go out. It's not particularly fantastic, to be honest with you. And you can see that shot grenade going to come in. They are going to try and get Dragons out of here, and they will do that in the end. But you can see on the left-hand side there, 2 members of Rated R are somehow down. And this should be Elevate really locking in this E-Hill. Dragon's doing his best here.
Dragons managed just to pick up one, and I think it was the shot grenade just went deep. And it stopped Elevate. It stopped Rated R, sorry, coming in for the cover, and Elevate just snapped their fingers across the map. Yet Crimson's has now made the push over towards D. But as we say that, Rated R overextended towards F. Strikers is there, trying to put the cover in, fire down. It's a good job he did that as well.
Yep.
Has help from Slazy now. They have to hold on to this if you're Rated R, waiting for the rest of the team coming off respawn. And we're going to go over towards the fight, towards E once again. But they need to hold F.
They do need to hold F, and I think they made the right decision going up into that tower. So difficult to push up there, especially when 2 people are looking at you. Craze now in a bad situation here. We'll try and make the most of it. It will find that kill on Dragons, and now looking for this 2v1 situation. Crazed already has 1, looking for his kill against Marsh. Ex-teammates battling it out here as they go around the corner, but that lovely little wrap shot there by Marsh will find the head of Crazed and will take him out. And he will get control of that trading post as a result here.
Cog team win condition. If Elevate do get a decap for a certain amount of time, though, they will be within touching distance. Looking at the time, take about 10 seconds or so worth of decap. There it is, comes in on E. Nicely done by Hydron, but he will be paying with it, with his life. Incense coming in as well, putting the damage down. Pains, can he use his? Well, there was 2 lining up for him there, and he will push them away. We'll just zone with that, but it's a good shot grenade coming in towards E as well. Rated R can't push onto it. They have the positional advantage, but Elevate have the points, which is the important thing. Crimson's, what can he find here? He doesn't need to find anything as the rest of his team roll on through. E belongs to Elevate. Looking good for a 3-2 lead here for it.
That's it, isn't it? And that's exactly where they'd like to be. Obviously, this is Elevate's map pick. They will go up 3-2, as you said. They will be a couple of rounds away here from getting that second map on the board. Obviously, for those of you just joining in, Elevate, they do have a 1-0 head start, being the team coming from that winner's bracket side of things. So they are ever the closer, really, to winning this one, aren't they? And if they lock this one in, it puts Rated R right on the wire.
It does. I think that's the problem for Rated R in this series, is that they're already 1 down and you go straight into Elevate's pick. But if they win Elevate's pick, they know they have their map coming up next, which they've been so successful on, and could suddenly take a lead. So it's a very, very big swing map straight away. It can go one of 2 ways, but it goes in one direction, whichever way it does go, very, very quickly.
Yep.
And this is all presuming that Rated R will win their map pick, of course. But they're still within this one. It's only a 1-round difference. Element 3-2 up here in the grand final. $50,000 on the line, but which way is this one going to go? It's much quicker It's a much bigger fight in the middle that Elevate seemingly looking like they're going to come out on top of, but nobody really with that much of an advantage so far. Elevate do actually have control of inside trading post this time round. A lot of utility has been wasted here by both teams, it seems, but nobody able to get a hold of E just yet.
Not quite yet, although they're pretty much neck and neck. You see the scorelines ticking up. Elevate, they do have the millisecond head start in terms of the points here. Millisecond lead or so, but
Very
it
slight.
isn't going to be enough. Yeah, it's not going to be enough at all. One cap of E will turn that one. So it is all about who gets control of the neutral and how do they do it as well. We can see Rated R there lining up on the outside, aren't they? They're just making sure no one from Elevate is able to come through the ice field, and you can see right at the back corner actually they're starting to move around, starting to change places a little bit, and maybe this is just to get flashbangs and whatnot back in the right place here. Incendiary's getting picked up. This will be the catalyst for this next fight here. Strikers with that Incendiary should be looking to make a play. Either on...
Strikers, what's he going to do with this? Marsh is actually taking down Dragons as well. Then Marsh follows him. Slazen is able to land the Incend, but Strikers is not. So it's an even fight, so to speak. If anything, it goes towards Elevate, but they can't still capture E. They don't have the numbers here just yet. They've got numbers inside the trading post, so they'll be able to keep Rated R off, but the push is yet to come through. Phelps C will kill Slazen though, and this should open things up now. Rated R are going to have to back off. Or do they have a straight bite back at it? They're going. There's only two of them here, and there's plenty of members of an Elevate. Pains is going to down one. Striker's got to go, and he's got to find something. Pains is all alone. He goes down. Dragons and Strikers combining well, though, and suddenly Marsh is here, and the domination is denied. They turn up just about in time. Rated R are going to lock in E, but they've lost D while they're at it. Hydron is the one. Over towards F, I should say, sorry. And he's going to find the kill onto Slazen at the same time. Elevate winning gunfights across the map here. Dragons is the only one to add to back for Rated R. And it's just maybe a little bit too late. In all honesty, Hydron is going to get a hold of these incense as well for Elevate. So they're in such a good position here. Dragons can't really push this E side, and Hydron's done so well all alone over towards F. And he may well have just locked this round in for Elevate. Look, he's all alone, and he's just killed 2 or 3 of them. Fantastic from Hydron. Fortitude to Elevate.
It really did look like he was going to be Rated R there, but Crimson's as well with a 1v2 situation. He was 1v3, killed 2 of them. And you know, delayed so much time there that his team could come back and really do secure that. And obviously, as you said, Hydron on that other side, he was being the rock, the thorn in the side. He really was doing a very, very good job there for Elevate. And that's all it takes, isn't it? Just 2 members doing the right work.
The Sable going in on the shock, and that was from the side of Elevate. So, Rated R answer in turn. They don't want that messing around with this fight in the mid. And that's ultimately what has helped Elevate out for the most part, hasn't it? Their shot grenades are being significantly better. Utility being used better. Rotating a lot better. Elevate very much in control of this grand final. Flash is going to come in though, and Rated R want a fast fight. They're getting down and dirty inside the trading post. Which way is this one going to go? It's an absolute massacre, and it's in the favor of Elevate. Fantastic stuff from them. They get a hold of E. And honestly, I think D will be in their sights as well. Strikers has to back on down. He has to help Pains. They need to hold on just for a little bit. Strikers is going to go down, as is Slazen. Who is left for Rated R to try and hold on to this? Absolutely nobody. Crimson's is here. The boys are here. Elevate 2-0 up in the grand final. That is a convincing win on Icebound. 5-2. And they're in the driving seat here.
Really is a good performance there from Elevate, wasn't it? Across the board.
Very solid.
Across the board. Such good score lines. Fantastic, really. They dominated through Icebound. And, you know, we called it out as being a map they won before against Rated R. They looked strong in it last time, but they looked even stronger this time around.
They did.
5-2.
They looked very, very good. But for anyone worried about how, in terms of the series is going to lay it down, we very much were conclusive in giving this one over towards Elevate. We thought that this would happen. Obviously, now they're 2-0 up. They only need one more map. But now we're going to go over to a very, very favored Rated R exhibit. And then over to Asylum, which last time around Rated R dealt with them on as well. So 2 good maps coming up here for Rated R. It's not done and dusted. I think, you know, they will be disappointed with the way that they lost that first map. But they will know that this series isn't over. Because it really, really isn't, I don't think, for
Yeah. I mean, every time they've
you
met
said
so far,
2-0. You thought they would take Exhibit, but I'm absolutely disagreeing with you on that part.
I mean, you can disagree, right?
Mate,
I don't mind
I'm
about
a
that.
Gears caster now, man. I know what I'm talking about.
You could disagree, but every time they've met, Elevate has won the first map. It doesn't matter if it's gone to Rated R or Elevate, the final series. The first map has gone to Elevate. Sorry, so it's not too surprising. You're right. There is a long way to go yet.
A long way to go. And of course, just to let you guys know, if you are coming in late, it was a best out of 5 with Elevate starting with a 1-0 head start because they came through the winners bracket, Rated R coming through the losers bracket side of things. So you've got to give that winners bracket team a slight advantage in this grand final. They get a slight one at that 1 map lead. And of course, now, do you have a 2-0 lead in this series? Just turn your lights on there, mate. It's an electricity bill.
I realised it was a little bit dark in here, and then I was like, what's going on? Something's different here. And then I realised I could actually see the camera in front of me. Oh, the lights.
Just turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. We'll see your beautiful face, and you're getting the chest hair out as well.
I don't know
for the
about
grand
that.
finals. You'll love to see it.
Just for you.
Map number 3, technically, in the series is coming up. Map number 2 that we are going to see in Exhibit. Now, we waxed lyrical about this being a strange decision being made from Elevate because they would have had the opportunity to ban this one out. But Elevate, notoriously in previous seasons, liked Exhibit. However, Rated R just seemed to be a little bit further ahead than them on this map specifically right now.
Yeah, I think after Mexico, honestly, that's the kind of turning point for Elevate on Exhibit. They went in there thinking they were the best team in the world on Exhibit. And you know what? They look pretty good on it in the European side of things, but the LATAM teams came in with a fire in their belly and just showed everyone in the world, both the European teams and the North American teams, how good the LATAM region is on that map. And I think that has honestly been the turning point. From that point onwards, Rated R have just beaten them on it and have looked very, very good. I mean, to be honest with you, Regal Reserve earlier today, they look better on Exhibit than Elevate did. So, yeah this is definitely a Rated R favored map, in my opinion. But, you know, it's Elevate. They want to put a spanner in the works. They've let that
on
come
as
through,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pressure's on. They know, Rated R know they can't slip.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of pressure there. And the other side of things is, you know, there is the option, basically, between Vasgar and Exhibit. One of those maps would have gotten picked by Rated R.
Yeah.
Depending on which one got banned by Elevate. So they knew they were going to play one of 2 maps. They'll be prepared. They've just seen them play against Regal on it. They played them, you know, earlier today on it as well. They know how they play now. And if there's one team that can adapt to that in this league, in this tournament, that's Elevate.
Absolutely. And, you know, they will be downloading that information. You're very, very right. Adapting to how they play it, Rated R. And would there be any better time to win it now? You know, you've lost it all season, really, to this team. Every single time the Exhibit is popped up, it has been a Rated R map. Exhibit has been their playground. Can they get it done here to force this series to go further? We don't want to see a flat 2-0 /3-0 out of Elevate, do we? We want to see some maps here through. So I would like Rated R to win this one. I want to see this one go all the way. I do believe it could. You know, I think when you look at Rated R, if they can win this map, Asylum is a map that they just beat Elevate on convincingly as well. 5-1, wasn't it? I think last week when they played each other. So Rated R will have confidence knowing that these next 2 maps probably favor them on paper, at least anyway.
Yeah, on paper, in terms of scorelines, 100%. But I think if you look deeper into it, into the Exhibit specifically, the match that they had earlier, yes, it went 5-2. But from what I saw, there was a lot of turtling up there from Rated R right on the wire. They were defending with Incens on their home hill. And, you know, those fights don't always go your way. And I honestly think that Elevate, this time around, I don't think they'll give them the opportunity. They'll push sooner, knowing that they've got those incendiaries, you know, waiting to block them. They'll push sooner, and they will just delay, and they will find a way into that home hill. And I honestly think it's going to be a crucial part of this game is, can the defenses hold strong for Rated R? Because last time around they did. Rated R, they've got a lot coming their way. That's for sure.
Nearly 10,000 of you in the chat right now. Thank you very much to everybody who is tuning in. Skins on offer, so make sure you do stick around so you can complete your quests. So you get a hold of them. You don't want to miss out, do you? And you don't want to miss out on this fantastic Gears of War that we have coming to you right now. Elevate 2-0 up in this series now. A technical best out of 5, but the winners bracket team, as you can see, takes a 1-0 advantage. And that does belong to Elevate. Before we went into the first map, now they're 2-0 up, but Icebound was their pick. Rated R picked Exhibit, and they led this map undefeated against Elevate in the past couple of times that they have played it. So let's see. Can Elevate break the cycle, or can Rated R continue their dominance on Exhibit? They're going to need to if they want to stay in this grand final. Let's see which way this one's going to go through.
That's it, isn't it? It's life on the line for Rated R. Going into this one, we saw them win earlier. They look very, very good on Exhibit. Did Rated R. They've won it twice today. They're looking to make it a third as they go against Elevate once more. They've got to win 3 in a row, don't they now? It's got to be flawless. It has to be perfect for Rated R. And if there's one team in the league, this is probably the team to do it. Against Elevate as well. What a tougher opponent. No one could have asked for, really.
And it's do or die for Rated R. They have to be perfect again. They cannot lose a map now. But it just really pays testament to how good the Spring Quarter champions are when we aren't putting them out of the series when they're 2-0 down against Elevate. Phelpsy and Koda trying to combine in the middle here. Phelpsy is just about going to find that drop onto Dragons, but Strikers will finally clean him up. It's the final crucial kill that they get. Now they're going to make their way over towards A. They don't have B yet, though. So Rated R looking to be aggressive. Looking to try and get a hold of the home hill of Elevate. Now there's a big, important fight. Crimson's deals with Strikers. And if you're Rated R, you have to be careful here. You're overextended with nothing much behind you. Jack now will find that final kill. Rated R will walk away licking their wounds. I'm not too sure if I love that one from then there, Fruit.
Yeah, not fantastic, to be honest with you. They have to back out. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's early on, isn't it? They're just testing the waters with that. There's still points to be gained here and a lot of gears to be played.
Hydron going to go down as well. We go back into these corridors where Rated R tend to reign supreme. But right now, Elevate are the ones with the win condition. That will change, though, when B does go over towards Rated R, which it seemingly is going so. Pains and Co just push through this side of the corridor to block off any extra Lancer fire that's going to come in. But C is going over towards Elevate as they overextend over the bridge. They will now drop off. They know that Rated R have to wrap back, pick that one up, and that's when Elevate will push forward towards B.
That they will. They will have to push forward. Pains now trying to find this kill on Crazed. See Hill going back the way here of Rated R. But Crimson's finds that kill, and you can see now more from Crimson's as Elevate. They start to swarm down that hollow side.
Yeah, Rated R need to win some gunfights pretty quickly. Marsh finds Phelpsy before going down. Very much a sacrificial lamb there, wasn't he? Just pushed in. This will allow Elevate to get a hold of B. Pains pushing into the middle of nowhere, though. He's really, really red, and he will do well to get out of this with anything, to be honest with you. Pains, how the hell is he still alive? His teammates are there to pick him up as well. Here we go. This is where the fight comes in. Crimson's going to back down as the rest of his team come in round behind. A couple of team drops actually coming through from Rated R. Didn't help them in that fight, but Dragons is there to find 1 and 2. Slazen's going to down Hydron. Jack is suddenly all alone. Slazen finds another. Jack's going to be dropped, and suddenly, all of a sudden, Rated R turned it on their heads, but they need to go, and they need to go quickly. They need B, and they need A. Slazen is on his bike, and they have 15 seconds to do so. It's long respawn timers. We're still in round number 1. There is still time for Rated R to do this one.
Yep, Slazen's going to go down here. The revive from Marsh comes in, but this is great from Elevate. The defense is on. Crimson's with the down. Has come in on Marsh, but there's the decap that they need. And does that give time to Rated R to come through? I don't think it does. Elevate looking to defend this one with their life. They just need 1 more point to secure this one. And they will get 1 round closer to that title, to that trophy. 1-0 now the score, and Rated R, despite trying, could not get it done on that one.
Slazen and Co did very, very well to find themselves in that spot, but the problem was that they didn't have the backup, did they? They found those final 2 kills together, but obviously they're having to rush towards Elevate spawn. They're going to be coming off spawn. They'll be quicker to the fight. Just a difficult one to do. It needed to be flawless. It couldn't be. Left it maybe just a little bit too late as Elevate win round number 1. Flashbang's gunned down. No surprise to see that.
None at all, really. This is kind of standard Exhibit. Those grenades going down early on. Probably will get upgraded at some point, either shocks or incendiaries. And they'll just be used to help push those corridors. We saw it earlier on. We saw how much reliance really is on those incendiary grenades to force these corners. They're so difficult to flush people out of. We need those flashbangs, and flashbangs we see. There goes one. Marsh finds that opening kill on Hydron, so that's good for Rated R. Jack going to back out and get some more flashbangs.
Flash going to go into the corridor here. Doesn't chase the fight. Knows that Marsh would try to counter it pretty quickly. Jack now in a bad spot. His control up top belongs to Rated R momentarily, though Crimson's will push back there. Jack and Co, though, need to get a hold of B here. It is in the hands of Rated R. That 1 kill is The only one that's really rang through here, and that's what's made the difference. That's why Rated R are in control. Crimson's up top there. I think that's alongside Dragons. Jack trying to sneak his way down this corridor. Plenty of good lines of fire coming in, but that flash will push Rated R back. Elevate building in map control, building in confidence to try and come back into this round. It's a good flash coming out from Jack. The push is going to rely on him. The first man out of Elevate every single time. He was the hero for them in the first series in the winners bracket final. They're waiting for the opportune moment to push. Just trying to keep him a little bit damaged here as Marsh. You don't want him to push through. Strikers is going to get caught out though. Dragons will find the drop onto Crazed and will find the kill as well. So Rated R should be able to hold. Rated R actually push on their advantage as well. Phelpsy's going to drop, as is Jack. Nicely done by Rated R. It's patient. They waited. And they just needed 1 second, but Hydron's going to find 2 out of nothing. Will eventually be dropped as Crimson's going to be able to do the same. The rest of the team will be coming up off respawn very, very shortly. They need to hold on as best they can. Crazy is going to find 1 as well, and they will slow down this Rated R push, but A and B still in control of Rated R. They're still in control of the round.
Yeah, not quite able to clean up Crimson's either there. Rated R, they have to back off, tail between their legs. You can see Dragons resetting at the top of the bridge, and Pains and Co. backing right on up, inviting Elevate back into this B.
One cap will do
fight once again. As you said, 1 cap will do it. Swarm will win in 40 seconds or so, but we mentioned it earlier on, didn't we? The defenses from Rated R, they were solid. Those incendiaries were huge for them. But they were turtled right back on up.
Yeah, I don't want to see them turtle all the way back. I'm quite happy with the halfway point setting up, but we can see Rated R start to drop back. They don't want to let anything run through. Dragons and Co. You're putting all your eggs in this A basket. You need to win these fights. They start to lose them. Phelpsy around the corner is going to get dropped though. Here come Crazed, Crimson's and Hydron. Hydron's going to find 1 as is Crazed. These next couple of fights are so important. Where's the decap going to go? Is it going to go into the hands of Elevate? Yes, it is. Rated R not getting any points right now. All the kills are coming in. You put it all in the A basket, and the basket's out the window. Elevate 2-0 up against Rated R. And you run the risk when you drop back like that. Rated R are being punished for it. Elevate take every single part of that map control that they can. And Rated R give it all up.
How many times, Tan, have I said this? You can't put all those eggs in that basket, especially against Elevate. I told you that Rated R, they did it too many times last time they came up and they got away with it. They were lucky to get away with it. Elevate, they ain't going to let you do that more than once. This time around, you see their slaying power. Even with Phelpsy falling earlier on, it was all about Elevate. The whole way through there, they used their numbers perfectly, and no surprise coming out 2-0. They played the stronger game.
I just don't understand it from Rated R. You're in control. Just sit back, hold the lanes higher up. You lose the fights further up the map, you got time to at least, regain some composure. If you lose a fight so close, Elevate just have to push forward, and they're in there already. Opening into this round looks like it is going to favor Rated R, though. Plenty of good drops going to come in. Hydron is going to be cleaned up as well. Those respawn timers, though, have dropped. Rated R in a good spot here once again, but they were being in a good spot the past 2 rounds, and they've lost them both.
They have those Nashers coming into play again for Elevate. And as we say that, actually the Desperado Nasher available to claim on that quest tab. Make sure you get that one as the Boltok's already been and gone. Rated R, they've got such an uphill battle, don't they? It really is going to be difficult for them.
It's an uphill battle, but they can do that on this map. We know they can. They've just thrown out. I don't want to say they threw away the first round. That was good play by Elevate, but I really feel as if that one has been thrown away. They play with such confidence all the time. I just don't. Rated R rely on their ability to push forward, be aggressive, and they relied on their defensive hold there to win the round, and it didn't work out for them. And these fights in the middle aren't going to work out either. It's just a complete disparity of how they usually play. Crazed is trying to get things going in the corridor here, and he has somebody coming around behind them too, lingering, delaying. As Jack now pushes, Crazed will push too. Jackfax is going to go down though, so Crazed has to be careful. And there's 3 members of Rated R flying, and actually he'll do well to get anything out of this. As Slazen is dropped by Pains.
Yep. I mean, that's enough, isn't it? That's all you want out of it. You want to trade 1 for 1 in a 1v3 situation. You've managed to make them kill each other. You need to use your bullets. Trading still coming out here. Phelpsy should be able to get a kill. Does get behind, but no. Pains is able to make the turn now. Pains looking for 3. He's able to get that revive. The knife comes out, and Craze will fall.
Two caps going to come in here for Rated R. They already have a lead as well. Oh, really good rotation by Marsh. Jack now in a horrible, horrible spot. Will be dropped. Well played by Rated R. And I said the aggression works out for them. This is their wheelhouse, isn't it? They love to play this way. And I will harp on about it time and time again. If you change the way you play it, just because of the position, I get it to an extent, but where Rated R thrive is aggression, these big team fights in the middle. No need to try and change that one up. They will win this round. Outside of an absolute miracle coming in from Elevate, who have actually managed to decap something. So 5 seconds now. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Nobody over towards B. Rated up. Will lock in their first round of this map. And it was a nice, comfortable one, in fairness.
Yeah.
Won the fights in the mid-map, and that's all they needed to do. They walk away as winners of round number 3.
Yeah. They had to win that really as well. I think going down 3-0, that would have been the end of things. But Rated R now, they've got the opportunity to tie this up at the half. Those incendiaries are going to go down, and they were key components actually in Rated R's defenses last time around. So that will obviously be a very useful tool to have, both in these initials and then the defenses later. Expect it to go down bottom. Expect it to go towards one of those corridors and try and open up, find those double kills. And if they can connect, if they can manage to find one of those fantastic opening incendiaries, that will open up the entire round for them.
They're solid with their incens, but we've seen some good plays out of Elevate with theirs too. On occasion, at least, anyway. Can they find some here? Pains and Core lined up. You can see Marsh behind. It goes in the cover. Jack baits it out. Knew it was coming. Now, a case of who finds what with their utility. We already see Rated R wasted theirs to a point. What do Elevate do with theirs? Flash going to go out towards the left. Jack will push. Jack is going to be peppered up, though. Can't really make this push over towards Marsh, as he is very, very red. The secondary flash is coming in, though. Marsh is going to back on down, but can't go any further because of the inside. Beautiful play by Elevate to find that kill on the Marsh. Absolutely love that incend. Marsh is now going to come through towards B here, Fruit.
Yep. Yeah. 100% hit. Jack, once again, starting to clean up a little bit here. Does have Craze by his side. This B hill should go the way of Elevate now. And although they are 20 points or so behind, maybe a little less, 15 points so behind, they will lock in this double. They'll close that gap very, very quickly, but they're going to be sure that Marsh doesn't get down that right-hand side. See him coming into view. Jack's going to back out here, and he backs the way of his teammates. I think that's a wise decision. Make sure you're not in a terrible spot here. Hydron having to back out as well, making sure he's not getting caught out. And Elevate, they go back to defensive duties here. Slazin's going to push in. This is a very, very quick retake attempt, isn't it? By Rated R. They're not giving Elevate any time.
Oh, Marsh is behind Jack as well. If he could clean up this one, that would be nice. He will go down, but Jack will be cleaned up. It's a one-for-one trade there, but other than that, Phelpsy and Craze to push around behind. Slazin now in no man's land down below, being shot at by 2 different people. Slazin should surely be going down. Crazed finds that kill. They will get a hold of B here. Elevate once again that points lead very, very slightly in the favor of Rated R, but here we go. Domination ticking on through. They're just going to back down. No, smart move by Elevate. They don't need to take any more. Rated R are forced to back to their home mill, grab a hold of that. Elevate will take a lead. 50 seconds now on this win condition. Well played by Elevate. Didn't overstay their welcome. That's all they needed to do. Decap out. Let's push over the top bridge.
Yeah, they're going to be careful of those lasers coming in there. You can see Rated R having to back out a little bit here. This is why the up top fight never really comes through. It's so easy to hold this one down. You've got so many angles from both that right-hand semicircle and the end of the bridge. You can almost never push across that. And the time it takes, the time it takes for you to push across, you enact those lasers and they come through and cut your team to shreds as well. So it's a real difficult push. I like the attempts, but you've got to realize if there's more than one person up there, you ain't getting across.
Strikers is out of the round. Elevate are going to take a 3-1 lead at the half. And Rated R just seem flustered. Honestly, they don't seem to be playing themselves. And they are being caught off guard by Elevate, who are 2 rounds away from being crowned champions yet. And Rated R need to switch it up big time. We'll go into the half and the respawns will no longer matter. They will now, well, still matter, but they will be reset. Everyone back to 4. Rated R need to change something up here. I don't know if it's just the way they're playing, if they're not landing their shots, if they're nervous. It's difficult to say. But Exhibit has very much been their playground, and right now they're being played with. Elevate 3-1 up. They
are indeed 3-1 up. 2 rounds away from claiming that trophy, as I said. Very, very strong performance here from Elevate. Predictions maybe ringing true for me, Ton. I don't know. We'll see. We've got a long time to go. But Rated R, as you said, they need to find that second gear. I mean, it needs to be a third, fourth, and a fifth gear at this point, doesn't it, really? They really need to step it up a little bit. They're playing well, but Elevate, they're just outslaying them across the board. They're outplaying them. They're finding the points early. Jack's leaning over covers. I don't know what that was about. That was probably just him trolling about, to be honest with you. You don't want to play against the Jack Vex who's playing on confidence. That's for sure.
It's a dangerous prospect if you're Rated R. And this is a massive round. 4-1 down against Elevate. You don't win those. 3-2 down. It's possible. Nobody wanting to make a move here.
Yep.
Very much everything on the line in these next couple of rounds. It's either going to be 3-3. If Rated R can win them both, or can Elevate close it out with 2 in a row? A couple of other different variables we can go with, but the way that things are swinging right now,
Yep.
Elevate are feeling solid on this. Who does that tick belong to? I think it's
Rated R. I think it is. I'm looking right in the middle. And I don't think it's going to matter either.
No.
Hydro finds that opening kill on Strikers, and Strikers was almost down to 0 last time, but now the half reset, that saved his life a little bit there. Pain's now trying to push forward. Hasn't had the flashiest of finals, to be honest with you.
Nope.
Very, very difficult to do that, though, on this map specifically, and, you know, he's got through. We'll take those flash grenades. Sorry, incendiary grenades.
Oh, well, that works out.
We'll get the decap, but just walk straight around the corner into Crim, and that's him just playing a bit too fast.
Yeah.
Needs to settle it down a little bit.
I mean, at least got something. Incen's not going to be there and available for Elevate. At least that's gone, and did get the decap, so push them back a little bit if you like. Craze now, playing the secret man here. Is going to back on down, though. His team are in the driving seat, and they're a minute away of going 4-1 up. On a map they've had absolutely no luck on against Rated R. Rated R will be seething that this is the way this one's going. They would have really banked on Exhibit going their way, and might yet still. Hydro will have to back on down. It's good defensive flashes coming in here from Elevate, though, and they may just clean up shop. Marsh goes down. Strikers answers back. Will get a kill onto Jack with that Incend, but Elevate don't need to push yet. They're in control. Hydro is very, very weak, though, and here come the kills for Rated R. Eventually going to get something going in this round. Is it too late, though? Push coming back. Phelpsy's going to drop. Crimson's has to get away with his tail between his legs, and Rated R continue going. Win condition of 49. I don't think it's going to be enough for Rated R. It's not. They need to get a hold of D, and Elevate will just turtle up on this one. Incend available for them as well. It's going to be very difficult here for Rated R to get a hold of this.
You know, as Elevate have learned,
over the top of the bridge as well.
You make the choice. You go a different way. You head over the top of the bridge, and even if your defense fails here, there's the laser coming through, and once again, a defense is strong here for Elevate. You can see even as well, Crimson's is up behind them. 15 seconds on the clock now, Ton.
Here we go.
As they start to swarm.
Jack's going to go down very, very quickly. Craze is going to find 1 and 2. Finds another. Surely Craze doesn't find anything else. It's stunning from Crazed. Everybody flies towards him, and he deals with them all on his own. Cog team win condition is still there. It's going to remain there. And Elevate are going to be 4-1 up on Exhibit. 2-0 up in the series. They are on championship points.
Dear, oh dear. Crazed coming in. We've not said much about him all tournament, but we know that boy can play. We really do. And when it matters as well, he's one of those that are so, so strong. Crimson's up at the top there, but Crazed not far behind. 11 kills to his name, only 5 deaths. Rocking 11 assists as well. These guys are shooting for each other. Flashbanging for each other. They are just looking phenomenal. They really are looking so, so good.
Rated R are going to have to pull 4 rounds and a rabbit out of the hat here. This is not looking good for them.
It really isn't, is it?
It was looking so good towards the end, though. They won a couple of gunfights. Things were looking great. They had the number advantage, and then Craze did Craze things. And how many times has this guy got MVP, highest KDA, every single week in Europe? He's been an absolute titan for Elevate in this one. Hydron is the first to go down, though, as we enter the 6th round, I should say. Incense coming out on both sides of things, being traded. Kill-wise, as Craze just continues to put more and more damage down. In a bad spot here now, though, as he is going to be pressured. Pains is going to find him and should be able to clean it up. He does so. Meat Shield is there, but Pains will follow him to the grave.
Yeah, bit of a mistake actually coming from Pains. He could have just got around the corner and cleaned it up from there and saved his life. His team were there for the revive, but goes for the greedy pickup. Pays for it with his life, and that for Rated R is not what you need right now. You need all your members alive, all your members shooting, and as I say that, Slazing goes down as well. Looks like he's going to get revived for the time being, and Elevate, stuck in this aquarium side of things, will start to rotate around and try and pressure somewhere else. They're trying to find an opening, aren't they? Trying to find a way into this E-hill. Rated R, they have a very, very good setup, though. And it's going to take a bit of a brute force push here, really, for Elevate to push them off. And Jack, probably the person to do that, has been so, so good. Mr. Consistent, we called him earlier. Mr. Clutch was more like it.
Elevate have really clutched up when they needed to, but Jack is going to overstep there, and there's the Incend gone from Rated R side of things. They will defend that east side. But honestly, Elevate are usually a team who, you know, they strangulate the opposition. They make sure they win comfortably in rounds, or they know they're going to win by the numbers. The fact that they can come up with clutch players like that as well is going to deter Rated R so much. Hydron will find a kill onto Strikers. Bulltuck out from Hydron as well, trying to put damage down, trying to nullify a player like Dragons who wants to push forward. Can't do it if you've got a Bulltuck bullet in your shoulder. Hydronico will get a hold of it. Win condition up still with Rated R. I don't want to see them turtle up here again. They can't,
no.
But 60 seconds they have to hold on. Strikers, I presume, waiting for weapons to come up. Dragons is going to drop. 4v5 momentarily on the map, and they're sitting back here, Rated R once again. Strikers will get a hold of that Incend. Here comes the push. Elevate have time, though. They have time to formulate a plan here. Rated R have given up every single ounce of map control once again.
And they're going to go back, aren't they? Back to that winner's bracket, essentially. So it's all up with that Incendiary in hand. Put it at the floor, on the door, and make sure no one comes through. It's so, so difficult, though. 25 seconds, Tunt.
Here they come.
Potentially the last play of the entire tournament on the line right now.
Elevate, you have rounds to spare, but they'll want to do it in this sort of fashion, won't they? 15 seconds to go. The push starting to come in. Hydron is the first to fall, though. Crazed will follow up with a kill onto Crimsons, though. Phelpsy is going to drown Marsh. Dragons and Pains, though, seem to be clutching up Crimsons. What can he do? Quite a lot by the looks of things, but Dragons will hold on strong. The decap has come on through, but Dragons finds 3, and Rated R will find the round. Oh, will they? Oh, they won! Elevate win it! On the other side of the map, Phelpsy goes over, and Elevate will be your champions. How do they get over? How do they do it time and time again? Rated R give up everything. They give up the round, they give up the map, they give up the championship. I thought it was done and dusted, but they turtle up and they send somebody over the other side.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Just like that. Just how it happened earlier, right on the line. We get a fantastic turn of events there from Elevate, and they get that decap in the end. It doesn't matter that Dragons comes out with a triple kill. It's all about those points at the end of the day, and 250 to 249. Elevate take that one.
Oh my word. I am speechless. I just seen the kills ringing through, but the one kill goes on the other side of things. I think it was at the other side of the map. I'm trying to think of how this one's worked out.
Elevate they had all the points, essentially. They had 2 caps down, and they got the decap on the home hill of Rated R, and that was it. That was all they needed. It was coming down to the wire as it was, and the decap, that was enough. Just like it was on District in the Winners Bracket Final. Here on Exhibit, we see once again Elevate playing it right to the wire, and this time they timed it absolutely perfectly.
Oh, Toby. Elevate, do it flawlessly. I don't believe that that's the way that they've won it. They've won it convincingly on Icebound, convincingly on Exhibit. We've asked the question so many times. Have Rated R got in their locker to be the best team in Europe? To be that solidified team? Elevate's it absolutely bloody not. Wow.
That was simply incredible, Chris. Honestly, they hushed me up. They hushed a lot of us up, actually, on that very map Exhibit. We criticized them for not banning it out, just like Rated R banned out Bunker. But then they just go and do that. A 5-1 scoreline on Exhibit. I didn't even think that they'd potentially win that. Never mind in that fashion. boy, what a statement from Elevate. And I think, honestly, after that Gridiron tournament online as well, they have proven that they are potentially the best tournament team in Europe, if not the best team in the entirety of the region. Well played, Elevate, and I think it's safe to say thoroughly deserved with how they've performed this weekend.
Well, let's have a look at how this one did break down. Of course, these grand finals, Elevate had that lead. They had that extra map already on their side. And then they just need to win 2, and they do it in devastating fashion. Rated R might as, they walked away as winners of the spring quarter, but this will hurt a lot. They find themselves in the grand final with another stab at Elevate. The winners bracket final came down to one final round. They lose on Icebound, which, they probably would have taken, fair enough, but to lose 5-1 on Exhibit, a map you've been flawless on all weekend long, all season long, against Elevate. 5-1 on that map. Phenomenal from Elevate. They get it done. We're now going to be joined by Crimsons. Crimsons, you and your team are $25,000 richer, mate. How does that feel?
Yeah, like it's really good. I'll be honest. Like we really expected it, to be honest. We just like really wanted to like work on Exhibit when we were like coming up to it, and like to play it like that how we did, and it just came off as a win like that. It's a good feeling.
We did question the Exhibit pick coming through because you could have balanced it out. Was there any theory behind it? Did you just feel confident knowing that you could beat them on it?
When it came to the first series in the winners bracket, we knew like our problems, and we actually, when we won the district, we actually watched it back, and we like just like figured out all the bad stuff that needs to be, figured out, and we just worked on our pushes mainly and our retakes, and as you can see, like it worked out.
And I think one thing that we picked up on, specifically on Exhibit, that Rated R do like to turtle up. They do like to sit back on that one cap. And we don't like that from them personally. I mean, I don't, because I see Rated R as an aggressive team. They like to push. They like to play these big team fights. But to see them then turtle up, and you guys, you said you worked on your pushes. Did you know they were going to just do the same thing again?
Yeah, from the first round, they actually started triple capping like the home hill. So we just like figured out like, they're gonna start be at the end of the round. They're just gonna be turtling, and it. At the first series, I said like, it worked out in their favor, but as we started to figure it out and like have the better pushes in the later rounds, we just started to win them.
I'll bring the questions sorted to the floor now. Toby, Fru, unprecedented from Crimson and the boys, the way that they win this one. I mean, Fru, I said it would go all the way to the final map. Fru got it right at 2-0. You must be happy with that one, Fru.
hey, Crim, I had full faith in you and the guys. I went for that 3-0. I figured that, like you said, if you had taken the time and you'd watched that VOD back, you'd have found the flaws in Rated R's plan. It was pretty obvious to me looking at that game that they were turtling up, and it was pretty obvious, what you had to do to take it. And it's been 2 for 2 now on Exhibit between you guys. I can't wait to see the next time you match up. But yeah, I think you played that phenomenally, and a well-deserved winning team as well.
Yeah, it just when they started doing that, it just doesn't suit their playstyle, and everyone can actually see it. Like, and when we start like having momentum, especially like in the later rounds, that's where we shine the most. And it just, as you can see, like it was just a shutdown when it came to it.
Toby, what did you think of the performance from Elevate?
Crimsons, that was incredible, man. You had the tournament of your life yourself. You performed amazingly. Many people were pointing out Jack Fex as being a god, clutching up numerous times there in that last matchup against Rated R.
Yeah, you played really well,
Let me ask you now, after such a convincing tournament this time round, also in the Gridiron tournament, do you believe that your team is the best in Europe now? Do you think you've proven that now, and you fancy yourselves going into the future as number one?
It was so heartbreaking when like we found out that we was like only one round away from actually like winning the Pro League. It's always been close games with us, and it's really good for the scene as well. Having like two teams that are always close together, it builds rivalries and helps like everyone grow. So I really like this, how the scene is now, how EU is, and I just hope that all the other teams below us, I guess, like pick it up, and we all can just really grow together. That's the main reason for it.
I have a question on the back of that, perhaps, as well. Is this has not just been about the Pro League teams this weekend. We've had a lot of Challenger teams coming in, obviously 12 teams total. Has there been any teams that have, impressed you? I mean, I was looking at 3X Rowdy as a team that really has kind of stood on their heads, but anyone that you'd like to call out as well from the challenger side of things?
I have to agree. Yeah, Rowdy's that Rowdy team, Ricardo and all them like young guns. They were really talented. When we played them on exhibit, and they started going a few rounds, that was why. Wait, we've got to actually start like giving 100% now, because we never actually really expected a challenger team like that to just come off guns blazing like that, and they really showed this weekend like they can actually bang with the pro league teams.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at the bracket to see how you found your way here to this grand final and then to your win, of course, the winners bracket. Let's have a look at how the whole tournament did break down from this side of things. And, going in up against Hype, easy enough start. Then 3 times Rider, you would have expected to probably play a Regal that time round as well. Then going in against Rated R, that winners bracket final. Would you have felt confident even if you come from the loser side here, Crimsons? I mean, you would have not had that map advantage, but doing it in the way you did, you must have felt confident.
Oh, 100%. It would have been harder for us because it would have been in the back of our minds, like, we've made it harder for ourselves, and we have to climb ourselves back up to get into like a position where we're now on equal like footing with if it was going to be Rated R in the grand finals. So we just played it so confident once we won that the winners bracket final, and we just had to keep that momentum.
Absolutely. I mean, Toby, they were phenomenal across the whole 2 series against Rated R. I mean, for me, when I look at that to win that 3rd map in the winners bracket final in such a way as well, it must have been a real kick in the teeth for Rated R, you feel, Toby, as well, going into this grand final. I mean, Elevate played phenomenally, but Rated R, let's touch on them. I think it's only fair they got all the way to this grand final. Do you think they'll be super disappointed? Because I don't feel as if we've seen the best from them, albeit Elevate. I think you guys played fantastic. I don't think we've seen the best from Rated R in that grand final.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, actually. I mean, we didn't expect it to perhaps be so convincing between Elevate and Rated R at first going into this tournament. And mind you, Rated R only dropped maps to Elevate, right? They had a flawless tournament outside of that part. In fact, and so I guess they shouldn't be as disappointed, perhaps, and they are definitely the 2nd best team, if not the 1st after this tournament. That's safe to say, and I guess it just comes back to that rivalry between Elevate and Rated R. They need to go forward, realize, hey, perhaps Elevate did outperform them this weekend, but they've got lots to build upon, right? They've got a strong foundation, a great team. There shouldn't be any roster changes or any talk of that from either, of course, Elevate or Rated R. And I feel like this is good momentum going forward for Rated R to really prove that the Pro League victory for this quarter perhaps wasn't a fluke or anything like that. And in fact, they can hold on to that trophy of that Pro League quarter, and they can go forward and find more success in Europe.
So there you go. Elevate will be your winners. Crimsons, I'll let you go, mate. You can go and get yourself a bit. Congratulations to you and the squad. Any further shout-outs from your side? Of course, you are the winners here of the Spring Quarter Online Major.
Just shout out to yourselves. Like, you guys done an amazing job. The production's really well, and yeah, you guys deserve your congrats as well. Well done this weekend. It was really good.
Thank you, mate. That's nice.
Thank you.
Nice and polite. I was thinking the org or something, but if you want to gas me and the boys up, then feel free.
The org knows like they've done bits this weekend, but you guys deserve your congrats as well. You guys done well.
Thank you very much, mate. And thank you to every single other person that's been working on this broadcast. It's been fantastic. It's been mostly flawless all weekend long. I want to give a shout out to my fellow casters as well. It's been absolutely fantastic. Shout out to all the staff that have been working on this one. Shout out to you guys at home who did, of course, join us every single second of this weekend. I know a lot of you here trying to get your skins, but I hope you've enjoyed everything that you have seen. Congratulations to Elevate. Some final closing words from Toby and then through.
Yeah, shout out to the viewers again for tuning in. Of course, it's been the first European major in a long time, and it's been the biggest prize pool in the region as well. And yeah, just to echo the sentiments, hope you enjoyed as much as us this entire weekend. It's been a blast. Shout out to you, Chris and Alex again. We've casted loads before together, but thankfully we've been able to have an amazing major this weekend, and I'm very happy with how we've done.
Drew, anything from you?
Similar sentiments. The tournament itself has been fantastic. I think we all expected that coming into it. The prize money, the skill of the teams in it, and the production quality that we've seen all the way through the Pro League into this, this broadcast today has been fantastic. The one thing that I really want to hope for going forward for the European region is that the challenge teams that we've seen today, the likes of Team Sick, 3x Rowdy, Academy as well, way back yesterday, they're looking fantastic. I only hope the challenger scene in Europe continues to grow and continues to thrive and push these Pro League teams right to the line, because we've had some fantastic games this weekend, both from those challenger teams and the Pro League teams alike.
I think everyone's done themselves proud this weekend, but let's have a look at those final standings. And to secure the victory for Elevate, $25,000 richer. Rated R, not a bad weekend for them either. 15,000 for second. Regal Reserve coming in third. That is that 1, 2, 3 that we did indeed expect. But 3x Rowdy walking away with $3,000, coming in as a challenger squad at fourth place. That will give them great confidence and, well, fill their bank accounts up as well. Going into that final qualifier where they will have to go up against the likes of Obey, who will be looking for that final Pro League spot. They come in 5th and 6th and honestly didn't look too bad for it either. Team Sick joining them as well. What do we get? I mean, any standouts there? I mean, 3x Rowdy have to be talked about there, coming in that fourth place. Definitely something to be talked about, especially going into that final place qualifier for the next season of the Pro League.
Yeah. I mean, we heard Reaction rave about them. 3x Rowdy were the one team to beat them, weren't they, in that winners bracket side of things? And they were a fantastic group of players, and I'm sure they've got a strong future. And perhaps we might even see them in the Pro League, as you said. The qualifiers, Obey, they will drop back down into those. And they'll have to fight their way through a very stacked group of challenger teams, hoping to make it into the Pro League next quarter. I want to be in Obey's socks. Would you?
No, absolutely not. There is plenty of challenger teams to combat against them, it has to be said. But boys, once again, a final thank you to you guys, and an absolutely fantastic weekend in and out. Big shout out to the production team, everybody fantastic behind the scenes, as said. A big shout out to all the partners of the Gears Pro League, of course, Astro, DX Racer, Razer, BenQ, Xbox Game Pass, Gamers Outreach, and of course, a massive shout out to TC and Xbox. Of course, this could not happen with your guys' support, and we absolutely loved every single second. Elevate will be your champions of the Spring Online Major here in Europe. Top of Europe once again, who'd have thought it, eh?